Hey everyone, thanks for joining. So today we are going to be making a pasta with a lemon, a brown butter and sage and lemon sauce. It's going to be really simple, really quick. So I've got some water boiling over here, which you can't really see because of the way I set up the camera, but trust that it's a big pot with boiling water. We've got some fettuccine strands organic pasta, and yes, I did not make my own pasta this time, but it's only because I had enough time and it takes a while. As if you checked out the pasta making videos, it does take a while, so did not do that. But I'm waiting for the water to boil, and then I'm gonna add salt, right? And if you remember from the pasta episodes, you need to add enough salt for the water to taste like the sea. Okay, it should not be a little sprinkle of salt. It should be a nice little short dump of salt, right? Wait for it to boil first and then add the salt. That way it doesn't stay in your stainless steel pan, pot on the inside. It should taste like the sea. Once it's boiling, throw the pasta in, watch it, make sure it's al dente. We're gonna make the sauce. Actually, we're gonna make the sauce first before we throw the pasta in, because you should always make the sauce. The pasta doesn't take that long to cook, so you don't wanna make that and then have it sitting or draining. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna strain the pasta. I'm gonna take the pasta straight from the pasta water into the sauce, coat the pasta with the sauce, and serve it directly on the plate. And then we're gonna dress it with just some chopped parsley and some cheese. So that's how we're gonna do it. I am going to pause for a minute and come back because I wanna zoom the camera angle down a little bit more on the sauce so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll get started. Okay, we're back. So first thing I'm gonna do is just melt some butter, and I might go with half a stick of butter. I may go with a whole stick of butter. We'll see. I'm gonna melt half first, and we'll go from there. And then I want to zest a little bit of lemon, but I'm waiting for this thing to melt quickly. So we'll get this guy to melt, and then what I want to do is throw in the sage, and I've got some sage right over here that we're going to throw in. Some cracked pepper, some lemon zest, and some lemon juice. I need to bring my juicer out. See, mise en place. I don't even follow my own advice, or the French. The French would be very disappointed, by the way. So the French term mise en place really just refers to have everything ready on the table in your prep space and your cooking space, so that you're not reaching for stuff all the time like I just did. So the French know what they're doing. Okay, I think I'm okay with a half a stick of butter. I don't want it to be too extremely buttery, so we're just gonna go with half a stick. We're gonna throw in some lemon zest and some lemon juice. So the butter is melting quite nicely. I might do actually a whole lemon, because I like this whole point of this is not the brown butter and sage, it's more the lemon itself, sauce itself, so the lemon flavor. So you do want to add a lot of lemon juice, right? And probably more than you think you need. So that's what we're gonna do. And maybe a little bit more lemon zest. We're gonna turn this down. Yep, to medium. Some more lemon zest. And you really can't do this in advance, unfortunately, because lemon zest, once you sort of zest it, if you put it in some kind of a container, it can work. I just like doing it like right on the spot and fresh. Okay, I think that's enough. And then we'll take half of this bad boy. And we'll juice him as well. Voila. Beautiful. Okay. Let's turn this up a little bit, because what I want to do now, so medium high, just throw in the sage, and I want that sage to kind of, actually I should have done that before the lemon juice, to be honest, but it's okay. And so here's the thing. If this was a brown butter and sage sauce. I'd have browned the butter. I'd have put the butter down, threw the sage in, brown the butter, and that's it, right? Maybe a little bit of pepper, but that's it. But because this is more of a lemon sauce, I'm just using the lemon juice. So I don't want to necessarily brown the butter, although it might give it a little bit more flavor, but I really want the taste of the lemon to come out more so than the brown butter. The sage is there for extra flavor. So let this go. Let's throw in some cracked pepper. Right? And then what you're going to need is a spoon. Because you're going to want to taste this. Let this go for a little bit. Yeah. I'd say you don't need salt at all, actually. Because also, your pasta is going to be flavored with salt because of the water. This is really nice and tangy. I kind of like it. Oh, mama. Yeah. It could use a little bit more butter, actually. It's a little too tangy. So let's throw in another quarter. So you're going to have to play with these quantities a little bit. So the ratio of your butter to your lemon, just play with it and see. You can never have too much sauce. So let's just see. Once this melts, we're going to taste it and kind of see how it goes. And then we're just going to let it simmer for quite a bit, just so that we prepare the pasta. And then we're going to take the pasta directly from the pasta water, directly into the sauce, coat that, and serve it. That's what we're going to do. So it's going to be pretty simple. I may come back and kind of show you that at the very end. But that's all we're going to do. All right, now let's taste it. Yeah. Good. Actually, I take a little bit of salt to help. Just a little bit of salt. And that's it. And I just want it to now simmer, simmer, simmer. Now, if you want to, if you don't think that this is enough, just add a little bit of pasta water. Perfect. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're going to turn this down to low. So add a little bit of pasta water in. That's the whole point of the pasta water, is for it to kind of bring the flavor of the pasta into your sauce, and it helps either liquefy your sauce a little bit more, give it a little bit more, liquefy your sauce, give it a little bit more flavor, and kind of combine the flavors together. The Italians do this a lot. So it's now on low. We're just gonna let it sit, and we're gonna come back when the pasta's done. We're gonna come back to plating, and we'll show you all that. All right, here we go. Watch how much water's boiling. Watch how much salt I put in here, right? Good amount. Not too much, but should taste like the sea. All right, so that's after it started boiling. And now we're gonna put our pasta. Just gonna drop it in gently. Oh. And that's it. We will wait for this to continue to cook. And I like to use tongs, right? To pull out the pasta and drop it in our sauce here. Toss it, coat it. I don't like to use the pasta strainers. You can if you want. I just like to use these. But use whatever you want. And then it's going to be delicious. And then we're going to, once it's coated, we're going to sort of plate it. Some cheese, some chopped parsley, and it's going to be delicious. All right, we're back. So I think the pasta's done. I just kind of turned the heat up on the sauce a little bit since we were waiting for a while. And now I'm just gonna basically take our pasta. Watch this. I'm just gonna take it straight from the pot. Here, I'm gonna put it up here. Straight from the pot. Well, you can't see this now. And I'm just gonna drop it right in here. And I've turned off this heat. You can take it into another container toss it, that's fine. But I'm just gonna do everything. There's no reason to sort of, really zero reason to make another, you know, dirty up another pot, dish, bowl, whatever. It's just so that you can have your pasta. Just so that, you know, you can do it. Wow, this wasn't a whole lot of pasta, huh? It's basically enough for like one person. But we're gonna split this into two. That's how we're gonna do it. So I don't like using the pasta strainer guy, but I'm gonna just make sure that I have no pasta left in here, and I don't think I do. Look at that, perfect. Okay, so check this out now. This is easy. All you do is toss it. It's nicely coated. It's beautiful. I probably have a little bit too much sauce in the pan for this amount of pasta. I actually thought I had more, but this didn't turn out like a whole lot here. But coat it nicely, right? And then all we're gonna do is plate it. So I've got two bowls for myself and the lovely. And we're just gonna plate it right into the bowl. Right? Let's get the quantities just about right for both bowls. There we go. And notice I'm not, yeah, never mind. All right. Yeah, it's a small quantity. But you know what, this is a side dish, so it's okay. And steal some from here. And this other plate, put it on this one to make it a little more even. Okay, I think we're even. I'm gonna take this guy, put him away. All right, and then all we're gonna do at this point, right? This is your pasta, all right? Let's just add a little bit of cheese. And a little bit of parsley, and make sure you kind of sprinkle that chopped parsley all over. There's a little bit of sauce that dripped over here, so you want to sort of, there was like a little sauce dripped away, so I just want to kind of clean it off. And that's it. This is it, guys. I hope this was helpful and informative, and it's super easy to make for a weeknight meal. There you go.